Happy Halloween! In the collective lives of every person, there is always one emotion that everyone can relate to: fear. And in the world of video games, I've never really been easily scared. I've been jump scared, sure, but there hasn't really been much that has kept me awake at night thinking about them. Nothing to truly scare me, with a handful of exceptions. And to talk about one such exception, I finally get to talk about one of my favorite games of all time, The Binding of Isaac. Now, I don't know if my adoration for this game may or may not be Stockholm Syndrome, but I've put in countless hours unlocking new items, facing incredible bosses, and more important to this video, dive deep into the heartbreaking and downright terrifying story and lore of this indie masterpiece. Because The Binding of Isaac is a game that genuinely terrifies me. Not because of the monsters, not because of the locales, and not because of the items, but because the story and theme this game tackles are frighteningly real. But before we can talk about that, we have to set the scene. Now, the story of Isaac has most likely been ingrained into the minds of everyone who plays it, but for those who don't, here's the setup. The main character, Isaac, is the child of a divorced mother and father who leaves them both, as the mother has fallen head over heels into religion, becoming a born-again after a serious drug problem. The father, being a victim of gambling addiction, spends all their money and leaves, leaving Isaac with his mother. Isaac, blaming himself for the divorce, uses his drawings and cardboard games as escapism to help cope with the trauma surrounding him, leading him to hide away in his toy chest, where he runs out of breathable air inside and eventually passes away. A deeply tragic and heartbreaking story told only through ending cutscenes and item descriptions. Now, there's a lot that I'm leaving out, as this story has had over a decade to develop and grow. So if you want to know more about the story and the theories surrounding it, I'll leave some phenomenal videos in the description below so you can fall head over heels into the rabbit hole of one of the most interesting and emotional stories I have ever seen in a video game. Regardless, the story of Isaac, underneath the over-the-top look of the early internet flash age, is heartbreakingly real the more you dive into it. The entire game, come to find out, isn't real, and instead is all just a figment of Isaac's imagination, as his mind begins to hallucinate and go delirious due to the lack of oxygen. As Isaac, as a boy, has a history of escaping into his mind during times of crisis. And to explain that, let's look at The Binding of Isaac's sister game, The Legend of Bumbo. The Legend of Bumbo is a game within a game made entirely of cardboard that Isaac and his father made together. It's implied that Isaac's parents are very poor, with dad suffering a very serious gambling problem and mom going through drug abuse. Because of this, Isaac only has some cardboard scraps and his imagination, which dad encourages and fosters with his son to create a place to escape to during times of trauma, which seems to be all the time.
And this world of bumbos will grow and grow and always be there for you as a way to escape from the real world. There is no end to your imagination, no limit to what you can create. Your imagination knows no bounds, and I'll always be here waiting for you in our next adventure together.
And once dad leaves both Isaac and his mother, mom throws away the cardboard toys and tells Isaac that dad never loved them. This, as a person who uses his creativity and games to escape and cope with stress, is absolutely gut-wrenching to see. The one thing you have to cope, the one tool you have to help go day by day, the only thing that truly makes you happy, and it's ripped from you. This is a dangerous place to be, and, as the game showcases, can be deadly. That feeling of no escape, that everything about you is wrong, that you are the problem, and you never mattered. It's a feeling that shakes me to my very core. I've been there, and I'm terrified to think of what might have happened to me if I never got out. But this whole time, the story of Bumbo and Isaac makes the villain of the entire series seem to be Mother. She's the one that takes Isaac's coping mechanisms away. She's the one to lock Isaac in his room, and she's the one to be, seemingly, trying to kill Isaac, as shown in the opening stinger of the game. But Mom, Moira, is far from the villain of the series. In fact, she's probably the most misunderstood and demonized character. All because she is the victim of the real main villain of The Binding of Isaac. I've played plenty of games, watched a lot of movies, and experienced countless horrors. But with zero hyperbole, straight up Dogma scares the shit out of me. The true culprit of Moira's tyrannical hold on Isaac's life, and the ultimate final boss of the game. Dogma is the manifestation of the very thing that took Isaac's family and ultimately his life away from him. Moira, once falling too deep into drug abuse, found religion on the television and became a born-again. Now, religion can be a very healthy and amazing way to turn your life around. It can give your life structure, meaning, and purpose for something greater than yourself. But everything good can be a target for those who wish to exploit people. Dogma and the Beast represent the corruption and manipulative nature of nameless, faceless people using the power of the screen to control and ultimately destroy a person's very way of life. It's a horror that stays in my mind even after closing out the game. It's silent, a barely recognized evil that seeps its way into people's very homes. And the worst part about it, nobody even knows about it. It could be staring you right in the face this very second. And it can drive an innocent boy to self-hatred, to escapism, and ultimately, death. I can only be so lucky to find people to keep me from Dogma's alluring grasp, because there have been numerous times when I was one fatal step away from hiding in my own toy chest, never to be seen again. The Binding of Isaac is a game that will go down in history of this art form as a pioneer of so many countless innovations, but its horrifying story and themes are ones that I hold close, and it's one of the many reasons why I can never truly put it down for good. To all of you choosing to give this your very precious time and attention, I wish you a very happy Halloween. Be careful who you put your faith into, lest you find yourselves locked away forever.